Hello again, everyone. These little ducks, a pair of ducks, were left over from when I made the ducks in a row card the other week, and they've been sitting on my desk for ages. So I thought I'll just very quickly make a quick card before we get on to the main body of today's video. So all I've done is a front panel, taken one of the slatted dies from Craft Addiction UK. I think this is the next to the smallest of the set, just to make a little backdrop panel. I'm just going to pop those two on there. They just look kind of so sweet together. And I thought the sentiment I would use, I found this, I've had, you can see by the colour, I've had it for ages. The date on there is 2007. That was when it was produced. I don't know if I had it from then, but it says STM and SSC. I couldn't work out what that was, but I've obviously scrawled on the back here, Stampendous. All it says is my friend. What I thought I'd like to do is to just have this stamped on here underneath, kind of there-ish. But it's always a bit of a risk, isn't it, stamping directly onto the panel that's going to be on the front of your card. However, fear not, because if you get it wrong, you can always do it on a piece of card and put a little tab on the top. So we're going to have a go. I'm going to emboss it in gold, at least I hope to. Let's just put the ducks down there for a minute. And I have used this stamp before. By the look of it, it looks like it's got black ink on, so it's probably, you know, fine. So we'll just have a go. Let's just see. I'll get my gold. There's my gold embossing powder. I've got a sheet there to dust it off onto. So let's just have a go. My friend. Okay. I just thought that was sweet. I've been looking through my phone this morning to see if I could. I think I put it probably midway-ish underneath, to see if I could find any phrases about ducks that would be appropriate. And to be honest, they were all a bit corny. I couldn't find anything that would be amusing. So I just thought we'd go with my friend. Doesn't look too bad. Do it again. Give it a little shimmy. I always think that gives the embossing powder a chance to find a bit of something sticky. If it doesn't get it when it first gets sprinkled on, you give it a jiggle around, it'll have has a little groping time. Let me just have a look at this. I can see just a few tiny bits of, I don't want there. Often you hear people say, oh, just got any excess embossing powder off with a brush. Well, a brush, however fine, sometimes can knock some of the embossing powder off the actual bit that you need there. So I just use a pokey tool and blow at the same time, and it usually works really well. You can get into very fine nooks and crannies. Okay, I'm just going to heat set this, and that is lovely. Just lovely. Good quality stamps make such a difference. I'm going to pop this up onto foam tape. I'll put two lots on. I'll put one round the edge and one round the central aperture. Now, I did wonder about having some yellow underneath there. I've got a really nice bold yellow. I'll just take a look at that and see. This is my bold yellow. Let's just see. Yes, I think I will. I did wonder if it was going to be a bit much, but I quite like it, so we'll pop it on. Talk about a quick card. Now we'll stick the ducks on. I'm just wondering whether to use glue or whether to use a bit of tape runner. I think I'll just try a bit of this actually. Just make sure there's no tape showing on the right side. Just tuck it under. Now, getting the angle of these right is going to be a bit... Now we stick this onto the card. Make sure it's opening the correct way. There. Couldn't have been quicker, could it? So, using up little bits that were just knocking around on my desk, so I will get on now and do the rest of the video. I'll see you in a moment. Well, I'm back, and I want to use this set today. I bought this at Craft Stash, and I think this was just before the announcement that they were closing. Oh dear, so sad. For those of you the other side of the pond, Bagpuss was a children's television programme, and he was a saggy old cloth cat who lived in this shop that didn't sell anything. And the things in the window were just things that people had lost and they'd put there until they could be found. This chap's called Professor Yaffle. He's a very smart chappie. And this is Bagpuss. So I just thought we would make a card with Bagpuss. And one of the phrases from the programme was, the most important, the most beautiful, the most magical, saggy cloth cat, called Bagpuss. So I just thought we'd have those three phrases, the most important, the most beautiful, the most magical, and we'll stick a picture of Bagpuss there. I thought maybe we'd have a little mouse looking at him as well. I don't know, we'll see. So that was cut from this piece of A4. Did it on the computer. What I did to start with, I had the screen set to exactly the size of this piece of card, so I knew exactly what size my words were going to come out. I drew a box the size of the die, and then arranged the words in text boxes within that area. Printed it, cut out this bit. So the bit I've got left, I'm going to be using for some of the stamping. So inside here, I've put the stamps onto a magnetic sheet. So this is the chap I'm going to be using. He's here. And I took this to the computer as well and just kind of put that there because I thought he would fit kind of quite nicely in that gap there. I'm very, very technical. Hold it in front of the screen like this to see if it's going to fit. And I thought we could have the little mouse kind of there looking at him. So I need to stamp the little mouse and the cat. So let's take a look at these. Find a block. Oh, this is quite big enough. I'll get a larger one. Okay, and where is he? This little mouse. He's the one that's facing in the right direction, I think. Oh, that little one. I think he looks like he's looking at him, so that's why I thought I'd like this one. Put that onto a really small block. Let's see. I think what I'll do, I will stamp in black and then versify and then clear emboss. Makes a nice shiny line and it means that you won't smudge your line with any colouring. I do intend doing alcohol pen colouring. So we'll put him here and see how we go. There's my VersaFine Claire. I better get my embossing powder ready. So it won't stay wet for too long. Okay, getting myself organised. Now I haven't used this before, so I will just rub it on the back of my hand. Hopefully it will accept the ink rather more readily after doing this. Right, here we go. Let's get him looking straight. He's a very fine cat, isn't he? Look at him. Okay. Lovely. Just pop a bit of embossing powder over. Don't know if you can see what I'm doing. There we go. I'll just heat set this. There we go. I will just stamp this one while I'm at it. The little mouse. It might be easier if I... Oh, I've got the wrong one. That is not the one I want. I wanted that one. Took the one above. Oops-a-daisy. This is the one I want. Right, it's going to be a bit easier to work with a smaller piece of card. Look at him. There we go. And straight into the embossing powder. And I'll just heat set this as well. Now, there's no two ways about this. Bagpuss is pink. This is all done in pink, and it's done in pink for a purpose because Bagpuss is pink. So, if I have any queries about things like this, I look online to see what colours things have to be. Let's pop that back on the magnet. There we go. Right, now we need a nice, strong pink. RV200 looks like a likely customer to me, which is there. It's called Dark Orchid. RV200. And I think we'll have a little RV320 as a shading. Right, and that one is called Apricot Pink. Goodness me. Right, let's just start doing a little bit of... I'll start with the darker one, I think. I don't know if it matters which stripes or which colours. Probably got these ones wrong. Do you know which one's which here? Let's do that and that. Okay. I do need to put a little shading for the grey. I should have done this probably before I started with the colour. This is for the bits that are supposed to be white, really. Okay, let's just do the lighter pink now. Right, I know his eyebrows are pink. I think I may need to look at a picture to see what's going on, actually. I think his muzzle is white. So let's do some shading around here. Can't see what's stripe and what's whiskers here. Oh, I think that's going to do for the cat. Now we'll just colour the mouse. Have a grey tail. Little grey mouse. I'll give him a little bit of pink in his ear, I think, but that's about all. Let's give him white grey trousers as well. Perhaps give him a pink tie. And I gave him a tiny little bit of very pale pink in his ear. There we go. So I'm just going to cut these out with their respective dies and pop them onto the card, and I think it's going to be easy peasy. So let's find the position of this one. Need to tape it down. Let's have a look at Bagpuss. Oh, bless him. Look at that. What a sweetie. And the mouse. Let's find his die to match. I think this is the chap. Oh, look. Let's have a look and see what... I must be careful, those guys got the dies there still. Get the front of the card. I think that's all it needs. I might put him on a little bit of... I'm wondering if I could put him on a bit of foam tape. There do seem to be a few extraneous, tiny little runs of pink. So the blender does bleach them out somewhat. So just trying my best to blend the edge of the shading with the blender, plus get rid of any extraneous little pink marks. So there we go, the most important, the most beautiful, the most magical. And we'll pop that onto a card base. So here's our card base. Surprising what a difference it makes, isn't it, really? Yeah, I think we'll pop him onto foam tape. Oh, look at him. You can look online and see Bagpuss if you just look at Bagpuss if you've never heard of him before. But he's a cute cat, whatever, whether you know the story or whether you don't. And a little for the mouse. Yeah. Oh. The most important, the most beautiful, the most magical, saggy old cloth cat in the world. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for the thumbs up. And do come back and see me very soon.